Hey lovies, welcome or welcome back to my channel, Extreme Tarot, where we do moon readings, pick a cards, and zodiac readings. Today we're doing a moon reading for the new moon in Libra that's coming up on Sunday. I pulled 2 cards already to kind of get a feel for what energies are coming through. I like to keep these readings like pretty general because they are like collective readings, so basically just say what energies are coming through. Like, I try not to get so specific, but I mean, if something specific comes through, I'll get into it. But anyway, the 2 cards that we got starting off are the Eternal Child and Benevolent Guide, Spiritus Rector, right here. I just have to say that I think this new moon is going to bring a lot of positive energy, and I'm also getting a sense, okay, we have this card, the Benevolent Guide, and the Eternal Child. Actually, I feel like this should be switched. This should be the energy, like, I don't know. I feel like they're both kind of like this message is going hand in hand. I'm seeing the rainbow colors in the whole thing, and in both cards. And this Benevolent Guide card, like what I was kind of getting from it is basically that it's like the nice voice in your head. Like, you know, it's like you have when you're having anxiety or you're worrying about things or you're feeling less than, you're, I don't know, hopeless, whatever it is, it's like that voice is very loud and very insistent and very compelling. Like, it makes some good points. It's a lot harder to kind of tap into that more friendly little voice that's like, but what if you can do it? Like, what if everything will be okay? Like, you know, like that voice, like I don't even hear that voice. Like, you know what I mean? Like, who does all the time? And if you do, it's like it quickly gets like swatted away by like like this more powerful voice that we're all probably like used to listening to. Yeah, and I feel like this is all about having the confidence to like move forward with creating your life the way you want to. And with the Eternal Child, I'm getting seeing through the eyes of like a child again, like the, what's that song, Christmas Through Your Eyes? But I mean, that's kind of like a corny song, but it's like true. Like, things look different when you're a kid, and like Christmas is one way to like kind of remember how you used to feel about Christmas when you were a kid compared to now. It's like what a different perspective that is, like, you know. And it's like when you like have that optimism and that kind of like joyous like essence that like children just like naturally, most children naturally have, and you can tap into that, it's like so much easier to believe. Like, your dreams seem so much more possible to you. And a lot of times like our dreams seem so unattainable because we don't believe that we can do it. And especially if we've had people, because this is a number people in our life that have kind of put us down, or, you know, even like without meaning to, like made us feel like we weren't good enough because they saw our life should be lived a certain way and they were kind of trying to direct us in that way, but maybe that wasn't the strong suit that we had. So we started feeling like there was something wrong with us, or, you know, feeling less than, especially by some authority figure. It could be obviously like a father, some sort of controlling parent, but maybe well-meaning. It doesn't mean like, oh, they're a horrible parent, they're trying to control you. I mean, they're mostly likely trying to just do their best, but like a boss, I don't know, some sort of figure like that, teacher, like just any, like all authority figures in general, just thinking maybe you were like, oh, you're a slacker, you're not going to go anywhere. I don't know, just like something like that, some sort of mentality that you've adopted now that was basically either shown to you through other people's like reactions towards the things you did, or like what people have actually like said to you, like authority figures and stuff. And I think Spirit is kind of asking you to kind of detach yourself from like the opinions of others if you can, as much as you can, and really just be like, have the courage to like believe in yourself, which I know is kind of hokey and corny, but that's really what I'm getting here. Like, this is an opportunity for you again to like choose to look at the situation differently, choose to believe in yourself, choose to believe that like your dreams are possible. You know what's so funny too? Today I was driving and I was listening to The River of Dreams by Billy Joel. Like, what a great song. Love it. I never like knew what that song was really about, and I don't know if I do now, but like he's always like, I go walking, blah blah, I stand at the river, like even like something about how he's like too tired, but he like goes and stands there anyway and looks at it, but like then like doesn't end up crossing it. And then I was just like, obviously the song is called The River of Dreams, but I was just like made that connection, and I'm like, oh, it's like trying to go after your dreams, and like it's like I'm tired and I don't want to walk anymore, like I have to actually like, you know, swim across the river, I guess, to like, you know, get in there and like figure out how to start making my dreams come true. But it's like the only person stopping you is you. It's like I walk down every evening and stand at the shore. I try to cross it to the opposite side so I can finally find what I've been looking for. Yeah, it's very hard to cross. It's not easy to like, you know, take that journey towards like the things that resonate inside of your soul, and like believing that you can even do it. And that's that whole thing. Like, I've been searching for something taken out of my soul, something I could never lose, something somebody stole. And it's like that belief in yourself and that inner joy, like we're getting a chance to kind of like get in touch with and like reclaim with this moon. So that's what I'm getting right off the bat. Let's see what else is like going to come through. Which card do I want to pull out? Black Moon. Yes. What energies are coming through with this Libra new moon? But it's funny because that these cards are so similar. I feel like it's really going to start with like you just sort of like believing in your, and then it's going to like expand out, but we'll see what comes out. Oh my God. Pisces, I believe. Like you say, like it's about believing in yourself. It's just like really, that's what I think it's about. Hold on. And void, of course, moon missing. I feel like it's like the final key that's going to like unlock, like it's like the missing piece or something like that. And again, another song I'm thinking about, I had a reading, like this was like years ago that I did, where I got this card. It's the Pisces, like I believe card. And another song I was listening to in the car today, it was Self-Control by Laura Branigan. And it's almost like getting comfortable, like just sort of getting comfortable in the dark. And that's what that song talks about. I don't know if that's what she meant, but that's how I interpret that card or that song, when she's like, I haven't got the book. Something how like I must believe in something, so I'll make myself believe it, that this night will never go. And it's like about getting a little too comfortable in the darkness, and like I'm gonna switch these. And like the lack mentality, like just sort of getting like used to that and having that be your mentality and your belief system, and not even like noticing it happening. And then just sort of like running with that for the rest of your life, you know, where you're just sort of living a half life. Something's missing, like you're not feeling fulfilled, but you don't really believe that you can have more. So you try to just sort of like numb yourself out and make do with what you have, like with the little that you have, and like kind of tell yourself stuff like, oh, life isn't fair. Like nobody's like really happy, and like da da da. Like I don't think ever, you know, anyone's really happy every second of every single day, but I think people lead happy, fulfilling lives. But it's really like something that we kind of, it's like hammered into us, like almost like, oh no, relationship's perfect, like you're never gonna have everyone, like a person that's like perfect for you, like that's not reality, like, you know, it's just stuff like that where you just kind of think like, all right, I just have to like settle for like crap, you know. But I think Spirit is saying like not to settle, and to really get in touch with the things, and to believe that like the highest vision that you have for yourself is possible, not just like a lesser version of it either. Just like, no, I can achieve like all I want and more. Like I have like endless potential. There's like really a need to sort of like really try to believe in yourself and realize that like, yeah, like if you've been in the dark for a long time, when you start like climbing into the light, like it's going to hurt your eyes. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's going to be disorienting. It's going to be uncomfortable. Like you're going to have to adjust. Just like when you're born, you know, it's like babies come out, they're like, what the hell? Like, get me back in there. Like, you know, they do not want to be like in the light. But I think if they had the choice later on in life, they would have wanted to come out. So, you know, that's what I'm saying. Like, you got to like bear the uncomfortability to like start anew. So, okay, I like this so far. Let's see, what else do we want to get? Let's get Moonology. What energies are coming through with this new moon in Libra? Oh, the shirt won't stay. Oh my God, sorry if that just made a noise. What energy is coming through with this new moon in Libra? Oh. You are good enough. I'm just going to put this here. A time for healing. And then you are good enough. And we also had the Grand Cross Provoker on the bottom of the deck here. So I feel like Spirit could like kind of be putting some stuff in your face, like opportunities for you to sort of like, is it digress the right word? Regress, like to sort of like get sucked into like a vortex of like negative thinking. And like when that happens, just try to like reset to this energy. Like imagine like when you were a little kid, if like maybe like your caretaker, whoever it was, would be like, okay, it's okay. Like, don't worry. Like everything's going to be fine. Like, you know, but kind of like do that for yourself in a way. Yeah, almost like remothering. I mean, it's like inner child stuff. Like, oh, everyone knows that's such a great time. Like working on that inner child. Like can't get enough of that. But it's like, you know, maybe trying to like be that voice for yourself now. But that's like, you're figuring it out. You can do whatever you want. Like, you know, just being able to believe in yourself and believe that you are good enough. Flaws and all, you know? You could have had like very like perfectionist sort of parents, or just parents that had a very like rigid expectations and things like that. And if you didn't like follow them exactly, like you kind of sensed their disappointment, or they were just like very vocal about it and you didn't have to sense it because they told you, like, you know, whatever. But something, or even if it wasn't your parents, like I always like feel like the parents get knocked in every reading, and it's like we love our parents like mostly, but it's like, you know, we're all just human beings and they're learning, we're learning, and you know, I'm sure we haven't treated them the best always either, you know, we're all in it together. But yeah, I feel like this is a really good opportunity basically to try to develop a more positive relationship with yourself. So let's see what else. I don't want to put this upside down. All right, what energies are coming through? We have more Pisces energy. I'll put it under the Pisces. No, I'll put it here. Imaginative, compassionate, healing, empathetic, mystical, adoring, magical, allowing, dreamy, ephemeral, I don't know what that word means, enigmatic, spiritual, emotional, escapist, impractical, oceanic, self-pitying, and illogical. And then like on the bottom of the deck, we had that self-pitying, and I am going to put this here because it's with that whole like I believe energy, but like Pisces is like sort of like the dark end of the spectrum as far as like the zodiac, because I mean, I guess you could say like Scorpio is kind of like a darker sign too, but with Pisces it's the last sign, and like, you know, Aries symbolizes birth, Pisces is death, and it's like finally time to let these old beliefs die and start looking with a more positive outlook with the Libra, with the idealist, you know. Oh my God, why is this doing this? What other energies are coming through? Quincunx, complexity. Irritates, puzzles, mystifies, complicates, contradicts, clashes, misses the mark, requires translation, adjusts, makes curious, educates, and transforms. So, and then we have the self. Again, I feel like this is a very self-focused sort of a thing, but something that will expand out once you kind of get the hang of it and sort of get yourself into alignment here, as far as your thinking and your like inner dialogue you have with yourself, because I feel like right now it could be like something that's not very nice. So yeah, I would definitely take a look at that. And let me see here, self-pitying. I feel like I was saying, with this quincunx complexity, some situations could sort of arise that will sort of test, I want to say test, because I feel like that just sounds like Spirit is trying to trick you or something, but it's more like that will, again, provide an opportunity for you to choose a new reaction to certain events that happen. Yeah, we have a time for healing, triggering, like, you know, and sort of like working through the triggers in a more healthy way that isn't going to involve you like shit talking yourself. Like, you know, if you make a mistake and you have to sort of like own it and move on from it, like without all the drama of like, oh, why did I like do that? Like, you know, kind of letting go of a lot of that guilt and shame that kind of comes up with these triggering situations that come through. And I don't know, I feel like just really being patient with yourself and loving with yourself right now is like your best bet. But of course, that's a lot easier said than done. And yeah, I feel like spirit is kind of coming through because yeah, the benevolent guide, it's all about like your inner guidance as opposed to like an outside source. So I don't know, like I feel like it's going to be more like of an internal test. I feel like it's going to be like, what do you feel when like one of these triggers happens? Like, how do you usually react? Like, try to like detach like that and like really observe the way you're like acting and reacting to certain things and be like, wait, why would I be feeling like this about this? Like, you know, did I intend to do anyone harm? Did I just like make an honest mistake? Like, what did I like knowingly try to like F somebody over? Like, and if the answer, you know, answer the question. And if you really haven't and you had the best of intentions and you can learn from your mistake and fix it in the future, then, you know, it is what it is. If you need like help or if you feel like you are in the dark and you can't get out and something like that, I mean, and you need some sort of like professional help or something, I mean, there's nothing wrong with like utilizing resources that are available to like all of us, you know, hopefully. I mean, I don't mean it like that, like, because maybe some people really don't have access to certain things, but I mean, like AA meetings, like you can sort of hopefully find some sort of community to help you deal. Even like, I mean, I went through AA and I was never even an alcoholic. Like, I mean, I went to rehab for like mental health issues and then just ended up like staying in the program, and it helped my spiritual development. And, you know, I don't feel like you really like a lot of the symptoms like alcoholics have are very similar to like mental health issues and things like that. And it's like, I like recommend like going, I think everyone should do a 12-step program. I think it's like amazing experience like in your like spirituality and things like that, and like getting to know yourself and forgiving a lot of your past mistakes. But so that's like a resource that's like basically free if you can't afford it, if you don't have health care or something like that. But anyway, okay, let's see what other energies are coming through. Crown chakra. Yeah, your beliefs, balancing. We have, look, the Libra energy with justice. Hold on, let's get one more. What other energies are coming through with this? New moon in Libra. And then judgment, truth. With the tower, disruption on the bottom of the deck. Very interesting. Judgment, that's Pluto energy. And I really feel like letting go of a lot of these thought patterns and beliefs that you have is really just going to help elevate you higher. Like, obviously we all know that. And again, I'm almost seeing this as like being in like the dungeon or the basement and this person being on like a pulley kind of a thing, where like the more weight they toss off, like the higher they go. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, don't be afraid of these triggers or these tower moments. I don't know if it's anything super crazy. I almost feel like the fear of change or something bad happening is worse than actually what's going to be happening. And like, you're going to cause yourself like unnecessary like stress and anxiety. So I don't know, just I feel like there's a big energy of trusting spirit in order to like move through this moon with a little bit more peace. Because like if you do that and you're believing in spirit and in yourself, it's going to make the process a lot easier. You're not going to be fighting against it. You're not going to be hopefully, like, again, with that self-pitying energy, being like, why is this happening to me? Like, and like instead you'll be in a more like proactive energy where you'll be trying to like learn from it and already like see it coming and figure out how to handle it like with ease or something like that. Sorry, I really don't want to get too specific, so I'm trying to keep this super general and just say like the main theme. But this is a full moon in Libra, or I'm sorry, a new moon in Libra. So this also could herald a time of like Libra rules the realm of like your best friends, your romantic relationships. It talks about balance. It's in the realm of like the air sign. It's obviously it is an air sign. It's a cardinal air sign. So yeah, it's a chance to have like a new like beginning in your mind in a way, like really like balance out the mind, because remember we had that on the bottom of the deck before. But let me see. Yeah, like I'm just checking. I saw the High Priestess. But yeah, like sort of like the High Priestess like trust in spirit. Like she knows that there's like a mystery to everything, but like she doesn't have to know what it is. She's just content to kind of sit there and like let things play out and like observe. Like the High Priestess is quiet, they see everything but they don't say much. Like she doesn't say much, you know. She understands like because we had this golden rose card on the bottom of the deck, and that was talking about secrets and things like that as well. And it was about how like it's not about like figuring out the secret, it's about protecting the secret. And like I guess when you get to a certain level of like enlightenment or something, you're not so consumed with like the outcomes and things like that, and you're just like becoming like at peace is like the reward, is kind of what I was getting from that. So all right, let's get some tarot. How can you best utilize these energies coming through? Like what? No, let's get more specific with like what actually could you see happen in your life from this new moon in Libra? Like what events, experiences, or energies energies, whatever, like are gonna happen from this new moon in Libra. Oh my God, the Tower again. Woo! And the Hierophant. Tower. Hierophant. Oops. The Three of Swords. Okay. What else is coming through? The Queen of Swords. And the Eight of Pentacles. Okay, this is like very interesting. And then we have the Princess of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck. So I feel like, yeah, this is supposed to be seen as like sort of like a gift. But yeah, this like Tower moment, whatever it is, some sort of disruption. Or this could just be speaking of like a lot of like intrusive thoughts. But instead like changing that energy to sort of take a bird's eye view from the top. And I think check in with yourself on every level and make sure that you're in alignment and things like that. And if you're like in this sort of like stable energy, it will just like naturally like lend itself to like mental clarity and things like that. And you'll be able to sort of see the situation again, like sort of like compartmentalized, but not compartmentalized in a way of like hiding your emotions and stuffing them down. It'll be in a way where you're able to look at the situation or a problem at hand. Okay, because we have this irritates, puzzles, mystifies. Like you'll be able to look at it like in its like manageable parts or manageable steps. Like, does that make sense? Like instead of it seeing like one big impossible mountain to climb, like you can be like, okay, what is this boiled? You'll be able to like boil down a situation. That's what I feel like is going to happen. Or that's like what the advice is for whatever kind of like complex situation like arises in your life, like maybe just to sort of be able to do that. And we have at the heart of this the Three of Swords, which is interesting, coming out under all these Positive sorts of cards. I want to clarify this because I'm not really sure. All right. So with the Three of Swords, it's like you could finally, and with all this energy that we have here, like you could finally like sort of see the truth about something, some sort of situation that you may have to cut yourself off from, or cut someone else off, or again, just like detach yourself from this sort of, it could be a friendship, it could be a romantic relationship. I was just talking about best friends and romantic relationships. So where it's like the give and take isn't the same. And even if it's not like, oh, like they always use me for money and things like that, it could just be that you've grown apart, you're on different levels, and like the energetic exchange isn't really like fulfilling to you anymore. Like sometimes we feel bad like cutting off people that maybe we have been friends with for a long time, but they're just on some other shit, and it's like we just don't like line up anymore. Like I kind of just have to keep my distance like at this point, because this Queen of Swords isn't like super severe. It's just kind of like, bye, see you, you know, when I see you. I won't be picking up the phone next time you call though, like, you know, or something like that. And then maybe just sort of, again, with these rainbow colors, I feel like getting back into like what you love and just really focusing maybe, I guess, on something creative. But with this Eight of Pentacles, I'm just creating some joy in your life. I'm kind of getting for yourself. I'm getting a very like, I don't need anybody else. Like, I don't know. I wonder if there is going to be something that really makes you have to break up with somebody, or like end a friendship, or have some sort of loss, because we have the Tower and the Three of Swords, the Hierophant. So that could be like a committed relationship breaking up, or it could be, again, a boss thing. We have like this 4, that's boss energy as well. So there is that element here. The Tower and the Hierophant. Yeah. I mean, this could be, again, just like sort of an end to like what we were talking about at the beginning of this reading, where it's like, oh, what was your song? It was Carnival by Natalie Merchant, where it's like, have I been blind to shut my eyes and play along? Sorry. I have to sing to remember the song. But it's all about, again, like how you start seeing the truth of things with this. Maybe it's things you've always sensed about certain people, but I don't know, like you didn't like really trust yourself enough to believe in your instincts, and now you've like seen the truth in a way that's like you can't deny it. It's not just your intuition, like you've seen the facts or something like that, and you're needing to sort of like keep your distance from a certain situation or person. And yeah, we had the Ten of Swords on the bottom of the deck too. So there's some sort of like, I guess, decision being made, and maybe that's what it is. Like you're going to finally see the truth of a situation or a person, the reality of it, and maybe be inclined to like berate yourself for not like acting on it sooner, or feel guilty for cutting this person off and have to deal with that, those residual, oh, you're such a bad person, like you're just going to cut this person off when the going gets tough, like, you know, something like that. Okay. So let's see what affirmations you would get in order to get through this time. And then we're just going to get some advice, and then we're going to close the reading out. So what affirmations would be most helpful? Like what things can my collective work on with this upcoming new moon in order to prepare for it? I release physical and emotional tension to create space for flow. Okay. I'll put these like up here. When I feel stuck, I get my body moving. Oh, that's another good way, like out of your mind into your body, like doing things that are like helping you work towards your goal. Like just start doing stuff, like start taking the next, oh yeah, that whole thing about putting things into like manageable steps. It's like, you know, take one step, like a day or 2 or 3, whatever it is. I envision my highest self and start showing up for her. Yeah, or showing up as her. Just embodying the energy you want to be in. I am more than enough. Yes, we're coming out right on top of you are good enough. Like, yes, like you need to recognize I guess, strength. It says, I find strength in the silence. Your own strength. And again, this isn't something that can be achieved by like talking it out with somebody else. I feel like this is like some sort of realization like you hopefully are going to come to, that you should allow to kind of like, I don't know, can you allow a realization, but be open to like seeing like a more positive version of yourself. Why not? You know, like, do you really think that you're all bad? Like, hopefully not. I like release that and create space for like the good things. Yeah, that whole thing about I release physical and emotional tension to create space was kind of the vibe I was getting from this truth, where you're like throwing things off, and as you're doing it, you're like rising up higher. I feel like I saw that on a challenge, like from the challenge on MTV. That was like something that they had to do, like get water out of whatever they were in, and as they did it, they were like rising up, and whoever went the fastest won. I feel like that was in an episode of the challenge. I could be wrong though. All right, what advice do you guys need right now? What advice do we need? Make sure to love what you perceive as unlovable about yourself a little extra, especially the most unlovable stuff you can think of. Weigh and discern everything you're told. Yeah, it could just be like sort of like a little test to sort of do a little reactional check, as I like to call them, reactional checks. And you might have to like decide for yourself against like what maybe seems like, again, trust your intuition, even if something seems a certain way and you have a certain feeling, like try to trust that. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. Okay, it's like a little warning. These are both kind of like warnings. Weigh and discern everything you're told. So just, I guess, be on the lookout, but I wouldn't worry. You can recreate yourself at any time in any way. Don't waste time with faux hustle. Do things that will actually move you forward. The shit you're, like, example, the shit you're scared to do. Yeah, just take like one step at a time. Like something scary, just like get it over with, like cross it off your list. Pray to be as pretty on the outside as you are on the inside. It keeps you accountable. I love that. And don't hide from your mistakes. Own that shit. Yeah, I think I said that earlier, that you might have to like own some shit you did, or I want to get one more row. Or, so just be ready. Just kind of, I don't know, try to like prepare mentally. Your shitty circumstances aren't an excuse to be a shitty person. Choose growth. Watch your reactions. Revel in the differences to other people. There's only one you. Just because, right, you're not like kind of conforming to some sort of authority figure's idea of what like success or whatever entails, doesn't mean that like maybe you're just meant to be different. Maybe you're not too sensitive. You're just surrounded by assholes. Could be the case. You never know. So, all right, guys, I think we're going to leave it there. I hope you enjoyed this reading. Thank you so much for watching. If you did, please like, comment, or subscribe to my channel. Okay? Bye.